What's up everybody? In this video, I am going to share with you how to become a digital nomad. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story on how I started 3 years ago and a few tips you can use on how to get started. My name is Saloua. I am a full-time digital nomad, aka full-time traveler, and I have been traveling for the last 3 years. I've done over 28 countries and 3 continents, and I'm super excited to share this video with you. So a lot of people ask me, well, how we can become a digital nomad? So in this video today, I would like to share with you how I started and how you can get started as well. All right, so first, let me share with you how I started. I embarked in the journey of digital nomadism in 2019, so April 2019. But I had planned to start that a year prior. At that point, I had a car, an apartment, a lot of furnitures and clothes and whatnot. And I had to get rid of it because I wanted to be a full-time digital nomad, which means I didn't want to have a base. I just wanted to travel and see where the words take me and then take it from there. However, I had to figure out what to do with my things. So I got rid of my car. I waited until the end of my lease of my apartment and my stuff. So my stuff, I divided in 3 piles: donate, toss, and sell. And whatever I kept in a storage unit, the smallest I could find. The second step is I had to figure out about money. So at that point, I was already a business coach, and I'm still a business coach. So I already worked with clients online. This was new to me. The only thing that I was a little bit afraid of is, what if I lose all my clients? What am I gonna do? So that's when the conversation about saving comes, which, by the way, I have a whole video about how to budget as a digital nomad, so make sure you subscribe so you'll know when this video comes out. Since I already had a client base, my job was to keep in touch with these clients by creating content and by always making offers and pitch to new clients. So I already knew how to do this. I also knew about my skill set. So if at any time I needed to do something else than business coaching, I knew I was really good at social media marketing. So I knew this was my plan B in case I needed to get a side gig. I knew I could do that. And so when I had those 3 things in place, a job, figured out what to do with my stuff, and savings, this is when I start planning. Now, when I planned, I'm telling you, I planned a super detailed, organized plan for the next year. And I can tell you right now, nothing, zero of what I planned happened. There were so many variables that happened between COVID, me losing clients, and on top of that, my phone, wallet, credit cards, and ID were all stolen. So my point here is, do not plan everything in details, because honestly, most likely it's not gonna happen, or maybe just a small percentage. And on top of that, you want to leave room for the unexpected. All right, so now let me share with you a few tips on how you can get started. All right, so the first thing you wanna know is there are 3 types of digital nomad. You have the remote employees, which is a person who works for a company, gets a paycheck, has to turn in the hours, and then it's basically like working for a regular job, except that you are remote. The second one is the freelancer. The freelancer is someone who doesn't work for a company, but look for gigs online, such as Upworks and Fivers, and then offer their skills to a specific project, and it's often not long-term. And then you have the business owner. The business owner is someone who usually have a team, a brand, and develop some sort of passive income. The idea is to become a digital entrepreneur, because in that case, you have more times and more money. But it's also the longest and the most difficult route. And there's nothing wrong with starting from one and go to the other. In my case, I've done a lot of gigs as a freelancer, and I still do sometimes, but mainly I'm focusing on building a brand with my business as a business coach, where I help people start an online business so they can work from anywhere. Once you set on taking this digital nomad journey, it's very important that you focus on the mindset part of this. There's a lot of pros and cons about this. And by the way, I made a whole video about this you can find right here. And it's the pros and cons of being a digital nomad. So mentally, you need to prepare, as well as figuring out if you can really live a life with being a minimalist. And by the way, I recommend the movie and the book, The Minimalist. Also, you need to figure out if you want to be a full-time digital nomad or if you still want to have a base. All right, so your savings are going to depend on many different variables. First of all, where are you going? My advice to you is to have 3 months of savings to cover your expenses. The second thing is your confidence level. Are you someone that needs to have a lot of money saved because maybe you worry about money? Or are you more of a free spirit that can find money along the way? I'm in between, honestly. I have some saving, but I'm also very confident that if I lose everything, I know I can get a job. As long as my brain functions, I can get a job in a day. A good place to start to put a budget together would be Nomad's list. So on that website, you can find a lot of information, including the cost of living, Wi-Fi, weather, and all of that for the country you wish to visit. What I love the most about being a digital nomad is that you can make your money in the West, in the US or Europe, and then you can live in the countries where the cost of living is almost nothing and you can get a lot more for your money. And my last thing for you is to start planning your trip. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you really don't want to plan everything to the T because nothing that you're gonna plan is going to happen anyway. And you want to leave room for the unexpected because this is how you have the most and the best experiences ever. So how I do it, for example, right now I'm going to Mexico City in the summer and I've never been to Mexico City. So I start by doing some research on watching YouTube videos, reading blogs, but my most important things that I'm concerned is safety. So I'm always checking what neighborhood I can go and be on my own as a solo female traveler. Then the next thing I do is if I don't find any house sitting gigs, I'm gonna go and look for an Airbnb or a co-living space. And I will stay there maybe a week max because when I'm on site, this is where I'm actually looking for apartments. I found out that it's much better to be in the area, walking around and see where area you want to live in. And then you look for apartment where you can sublease for short term. There's tons of websites online, but what I love to do is to actually go on Facebook groups. I go to a specific group for a specific city. For example, Mexico, I would go expats in Mexico's or digital nomad in Mexico City or something like that. And then I would put an ad and I would also look at what kind of ads are posted on there. And that way I can meet with the host, I can see the apartment, and if I'm interested, then I can sign up for a full contract. I actually did that in Morocco, in Casablanca. I don't know anybody in Casablanca. In Morocco, you have agents, so it's like a real estate agent, which I found on a Facebook group. And I met with the agent and he showed me around probably 6 or 7 apartments in the area I wanted to be in. So I already knew where I wanted to go. And the apartment had to have Wi-Fi and be fully furnished. And once I found the apartment that I wanted, I then signed up for a 6 months lease, which I ended up breaking because I hated Casablanca, but that's on a different story. But this is how I did it, and I ended up paying only $600 a month for a fully furnished apartment in the center of Casablanca. So to wrap this up, the things that you want to know before you embark into your digital nomad journey is, number one, you need to do the mindset work. Second, you want to start thinking about what you're going to do with your stuff. And number 3, what kind of jobs or how are you going to make money while you're on the road? Number 4, you want to have some saving. And lastly, planning, but don't overplan. Leave room for amazing experiences and the unexpected. Make sure you subscribe so you can see the other video I have about budgeting as a digital nomad. I also have a full guide on how to be a full-time house sitter so you can travel the world rent-free. And make sure you grab it. I'm going to leave it down below. Once again, thank you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.